Good evening. I'd like to call the Board of Appeals meeting to order. Today is June 14th, 2017. The first item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes, and I would like to call for a motion for the approval of the May 10th, 2017 minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for the May 10th meeting.
Second.
Discussion on the minutes? All right, well, I will now call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those abstaining? Aye. And so that would be it. So the motion passes 3-0 with one abstention. I'm sorry, the motion passes 3 with one abstention. Okay, so what we have in front of us today is Board of Appeals case. It's 7607-217. It's 12 South Summit Avenue. It's a special exception request for Stealth Telecommunications Facility. And at this time, I'd like to ask Caroline Seiden to present the case to us.
This is a public hearing on Board of Appeals case BOA 7607-2017. The hearing was published in accordance with the requirements of the city charter and code on the city's website, and the property was properly posted. At the present time, there are 23 exhibits in the record files. They are referenced in an exhibit list in the files. The individual exhibits may be reviewed during the course of the meeting or in the Planning and Code Administration offices during regular business hours at City Hall or on the city's website. Any objections to the receipt of any exhibit should be noted prior to the closing of the record, otherwise they will be deemed received in evidence. The application requests a special exception to permit a stealth rooftop telecommunications facility at 12 South Summit Avenue, Gaithersburg, Maryland. Property is located in the CBD, Central Business District Zone, and the special exception is allowed by Section 24-160F2C6 of the City of Gaithersburg Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 24 of the City Code, subject to the review of the Board of Appeals. And just to direct everyone's attention to the location of the building, this is 12 South Summit, which is right on the corner of South Summit Avenue and Old Town Avenue, pretty much right directly behind all of you. Tracy Thiemak is here from Donahue and Stearns, and also Wesley Winter and Roy, I'm going to Mummy, I always mispronounce it, of Advantage Engineers are here, and I will turn it over to them.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And before we start, I'd like to present an oath for the witnesses. So if any of the guests tonight will be speaking, just raise your right hand. Let's go ahead. All right. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you are about to give in this matter shall be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you very much. Please proceed.
Good. My name is Tracy Thiemak. Thank you, members of the board. I know we've all seen the staff report, and I know Caroline just gave us an overall summary. I guess I would start with the reason we're here, and that really goes to the propagation maps, and I don't know. That'd be great if we could just, sometimes they come in different forms, but the propagation maps that were submitted from T-Mobile show that they've determined that there is a congested area here, and they come up with what we call a search ring. And once we hear from T-Mobile customers, it goes to a site acquisition specialist, and they look within the search ring to see if there are any willing landlords or sites where we could put a facility to relieve both coverage and capacity. I think in this case, for the major point, it's capacity. The surrounding cell sites that you see in these propagation maps are on air and are handling all they can handle. So dropped calls are happening in this area. So this is really an ideal situation where we have a building of sufficient height where we can put a rooftop facility, especially in an area where we don't have the option to put a big macro tower. Even when we do have that option, those aren't generally the welcome form of this. So this is a great option when we have a potential rooftop install design like this. And this, I think, I handle a lot of these, is a pretty good looking one. So if you're looking at the first coverage map, it shows the congested coverage in the area around 12 South Summit, and that's that yellow area. Again, you'll see these other sites that have the WAN numbers around them, and you'll see 3 triangles branching off of each one of those. And what that indicates is the sectors in which in which direction the signal from those particular facilities is propagating. So it's sending signals all out, but what you're seeing is that is a high demand between this proposed site and those. So we're seeking to put this one here to sort of offload the capacity from those and improve the coverage right around this proposed site. The next propagation map shows what this facility will provide, and again you see those 3 sectors, and again this parallels on the zoning drawings where we have the 3 different sectors of antennas on the rooftop. These will be the areas in which the signal is directed and propagates. And we've done that. Our RF engineers determine where the bulk of the coverage needs to go in order to relieve the capacity issues from the surrounding sites and improve the coverage in this specific search ring. So you can see the difference in where the yellow is versus where this site will be proposed and the improved coverage there. The last site just shows this site in conjunction with the other ones, where there is still, in other areas, there's going to be capacity issues, but we'll get to those at a later date. Right now, we're solving this problem. Wanted to go over that briefly, and then I think the biggest change from the Planning Commission hearing was our engineer, Roy, took the commissioners through a lot of detail about the materials. It's an RF transparent material that will so that the antennas can propagate through it. Also the green stealth wall as well, and I'll let Roy answer any specific questions you have about the materials to be used in the specific design. But we did get a comment there. The original drawing had that cornice piece without all of the architectural detail that is there currently, and so we were asked if we could come back. And unfortunately, we don't have the stealth design plans showing the technical specs. They will be very similar to what was provided for this photo simulation, but we have photo sims prepared, and I know Caroline had it up on the presentation that show the redesign so that it exactly mirrors what people are looking at now, so that it doesn't look like a stealth facade. And maybe I can give these to Roy. I don't know.
We'll add these as exhibit number
Just at the bottom.
24, just
Okay.
for the record.
Just so you have an up close for your packet of, so this is the final version of what the stealth design that we're proposing actually is. As you can see, the bottom will be closed off as well, so there won't be any chance of anybody that is close up to the building looking up and seeing any antennas or equipment or anything like that. It'll all be sealed off. Really, we're here to answer any specific questions you have about this particular install. Again, we have Wesley Winter from who's the site acquisition specialist here, and then also Roy Mummy, who is our engineer. But I appreciate the opportunity to bring this before you.
I guess I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking, I don't see any difference in the 2 photos other than the top fascias looks a little dirty, whereas the lower photo looks clean.
That's the idea. You shouldn't be able
So
to
is
see.
that where it's in that like fascia or
Yeah.
Yes.
the antenna or transmitter, whatever the case would be?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you remove what's there currently.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, no, we're gonna leave what's there currently. We'll make a framing system that's gonna basically, if this is up there now, it's gonna straddle right over top of it. And then we'll fasten it to the supports that are already existing on the existing cornice. So we won't have to deconstruct what's up there.
So yeah, I see now that it looks like now the gap on the lower picture, like the other one looks more flat against the brick,
Right.
whereas the lower one, how many feet is that, or is that
It's roughly gonna be at about 2 feet,
okay?
because you gotta have space for the antennas to be mounted in there and not be right up against the stealth material.
Okay.
Probably would be helpful just remembering that this is all being recorded and folks have to figure out who's speaking, so do make sure to identify yourself, just as you did when you first spoke, just so that the record can pick it up. But thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Robert?
Excuse me, it's amazing for as many of these that have come before the committee, the technology that has improved the borders and the site and everything that's come a long way, because that's what as a board, have always looked at the appearance, so it doesn't look like a, armed forces base up there. But no, this has really come a long way. This looks great.
I'm fine.
These are the actual materials that will go up on the building, just so you can get a sense of them up close. The one is for this sector here, and then the green, I think there's an aerial shot that really showed, that's the green wall that will go up for the other two sectors.
Is this the antenna? I see stealth.
No, that's not an antenna, that's the stealth wall.
That's very impressive, yeah. It's interesting.
So I have a question. So you're adding this material as the base to the existing cornice, to the existing structures that are already there? Okay, and then
Yes.
the existing structures that are already there, are they any kind of a support structure, or are they decorative? I don't go up there, so I don't
Right.
know.
I mean, the cornice that's up there has supports on it that
It
are
does,
tied
okay.
back to the roof, and so we'll be fastening to those supports, yes.
Okay, so I think my question is make sure nothing falls off.
Absolutely.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that would not go well for us. Yeah. Marketing wise, that's a bad decision.
Talk about a drop call.
Yes, right.
Oh.
Actually, if you can see the supports in this aerial,
Yeah, maybe we can just go over a little bit about the how it's there. Okay.
Oh,
I didn't-
okay.
Because these
Oh,
buildings
see- oh,
do
I-
seem to make like a wind tunnel in between them.
Absolutely.
So that's what happens at my building. It just, between two buildings, it will really bring up some gale force winds.
No, not on
so they can see the supports in the back there.
Too far.
Yeah, this is what I printed out. While we're looking for that, I just had another question too. Maybe just talk a little bit about the equipment that's going on the building, and we see what you've just presented to us, but the functionality of that equipment itself, and is this something that will, if you need more coverage, will you add to that equipment, or would it be or would you look for another site? I'm just looking perhaps
We
down
actually,
the road.
and Caroline's recommendation, we actually added in, originally we submitted our statement of justification with 6 total antenna that we'd be proposing, 2 in each sector here. She suggested that we should that we do have the structural capacity and the room here to put a 3rd antenna in each of these sectors, so that when the technology requires it, we can come back and we already have a install that's structurally sound, so that we can upgrade, and it will still be, there will be no increase to the visual impact and no need to reinforce or to change the stealth design. So that is incorporated into this special exception application, so that when we come back and need it, it's prepared for us. So.
That sounds good.
Could you, the overhead shot, could you show that one?
This one?
Yeah, so I'm looking at that, is that the old structure, or is that with the new antenna? Is that what
That's
am I looking
existing,
at?
that's what's there today.
Got it. And
That's
the-
just an aerial view of what's existing today.
Got it, okay, that's what I thought. So, and then the only other comment I have, and just a comment, when you add that structure to the front of the building, if it doesn't seem like it blends properly with the sides, to try to make sure that, the best of your ability, so, it doesn't look like it's protruding out.
No, absolutely. And here, actually, it shows a good, this will be in this area here, where, this is where, this is all the equipment for the building here now, but this area will be the leased area for T-Mobile's equipment on the rooftop. So the antennas will
Okay.
be in the various sectors that are shown on the zoning drawings, but, the actual equipment will be right behind there.
Okay. Oh, I see, okay.
Do you want to go to any of those next?
There's more, yeah, sheet Z1 of the zoning drawings really shows the equipment layout, I think, the best.
Messed up. What happened? I'm gonna start over.
Yep.
Z1 or Z2?
Z1 is fine, yeah. There we go. So you can see,
It's very sensitive.
right, oh, yeah, it is. Let's see if we can get back there. You can see right here, this is all existing equipment on the rooftop, and here, in that circular area behind the screen wall, will be the leased area for T-Mobile's equipment.
Okay.
The third sector will go on that back wall there at the bottom.
The antennas will. I was referring, this area, the area I pointed you to, I was talking about the equipment that will support the antennas.
Yeah, the equipment will go in the circular area.
Okay.
And will the antennas be visible from the street?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any further questions from the board? All right. All right, let me just get my sheet out here. Okay. Almost there. All right. Is there any additional testimony from any other parties that are with us this evening? Okay, all right. All right, so I'll need a motion to close the record.
We're doing this right here.
On the top there.
Just this one here first.
I move to close the record on BOA 7607-2017.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes 4-0, that the record is now closed. All right, now, do we have any further discussion with the board on this matter before us this evening?
I think everything's been covered.
Okay, so we'll need a motion to approve the application and resolution. And I do have the resolution in front of me here too, so can we get a motion to go ahead and approve the application? And then we'll read that.
All right, I make a motion that the Board of Appeals, based on the findings and conclusions outlined in the draft resolution, approve special exception application BOA 7607-2017 and adopt resolution BOA 7607-2017 with 5 conditions as presented.
All right, do you want to read
Do I
the?
need to read the conditions?
If it's the 5 that are presented, that is clear enough because that's the resolution they're adopting.
Okay, so,
So that I don't see a need to read each
Right.
one of the 5.
okay,
That's what I figured.
all right. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes 4-0. All right, is there anything before the board, anything else before the board this evening? All right,
No, we have another meeting in July.
okay. Is there, can I call for a motion to adjourn?
Absolutely.
That sounds like
As we all look at each other.
Did you make that motion to adjourn? Let's hear that.
I make a motion that we adjourn tonight's meeting.
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you for your time.